Are you okay? Peachy Kate, the world's my oyster, except for the fact that I just rammed a wooden stake in my brother's heart because he turned into a vampire, even though I don't believe in vampires. Aside from that, unfortunate business, everything's hunky-dory. Welcome to Should You Watch This with the Popcorn Priest, a weekly podcast where movie enthusiasts, ex-movie theater projectionists, new and old friends take the time to talk about a movie that we just watched and answer that very question, should or shouldn't you watch this? From Quentin Tarantino, from Robert Rodriguez, From Dusk Till Dawn. That's the sound of the doors of the titty twister opening.
Everybody be cool. You be cool. Somewhere in the middle of nowhere.
Low profile. You understand the meaning of the words low profile?
Sure. Two of America's most dangerous criminals have taken hostages.
What is this? It's called a punch. I'm going to ask you one question, and all I want is a yes or no answer. Do you want to live through this?
Yes.
Okay, Ramblers, let's get rambling.
One night is all that stands between them and freedom.
This is my kind of place.
But it's going to be one hell of a night.
We might be in trouble. We got a bunch of fucking vampires out there trying to get in here and suck our fucking blood.
Now, their only chance is to fight back.
Oh, yeah!
Dill, George Clooney, Quentin Tarantino, Juliette Lewis.
Welcome to slavery.
No thanks. I already had a wife.
From dusk till dawn.
Oh, man. Welcome back, Dan, to part 2 of From Dusk Till Dawn, dude.
Man, just even listening to the trailer brings me joy.
Yeah, that trailer is amazing. You know that sound in the background, that dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
That's from Aliens, by the way. They just ripped off that soundtrack from Aliens.
Something occurred to me listening to that trailer is I think with Tarantino films, there needs to be body counts and F-word counts.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, dude, I didn't look that up. Did you look it up?
Do you think, no, but do you think the F-word count is more than the body count in this? I mean, we discussed body count last week, so I wonder if the F-word.
Oh, that's a good thing. Let me look this up.
Is higher. Yeah, it's gotta be somewhere. But again, like if you are going into a Tarantino film, you know that word is going to be used well into the 3 figures.
Okay, this is from, and they're pretty good about this. It's called screenit.com. It's like for parents.
What would be your guess on the number?
I already looked.
I would probably guess, man, the body count was high.
Yeah, 134.
I would probably guess about 86 on the F word.
Ooh, very good, dude. 96. And,
wow.
And only 3 of those with the prefix mother. Only 3 mothers. Yeah. It breaks down. Dude, listen to this. It breaks down all the other profanities other than the F word. There's 36 slang terms for female genitals. We're aware of that scene. 31 S words, 11 ass words, 9 hells, 5 SOBs, 4 dams, 3 slang terms for male genitals, and 8 uses of the word God. And of course, we have the titty twister with a neon woman with neon breasts. Also is shown in the film.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, let's get in right into trivia.
Let me tell you something, pendejo.
All right, I cherry picked these as I do, but the humorous line, "No thanks, I've already had a wife," which we just saw in the trailer, which is amazing, never intended to be in the final cut, but after the studio included the line in the trailer, Rodriguez was obligated to include it in the film, and I'm glad he did. It was improvised.
Oh yeah. I love when you get improvised stuff in films, because it just shows the talent of these people.
Yeah. And it's even a better testament to the director and editor when they can find those gems and highlight them, because not all of them are going to be gold, right? But having those in there is good.
Agreed.
Salma Hayek had a real fear of snakes. Listen to this. She had always refused to be near them. Naturally, when she read the script, she knew her phobia would prevent her from taking the part. Robert Rodriguez lied to her, saying that Madonna was ready to nab the part instead. So Hayek spent 2 months with therapists to overcome her fear of snakes so she could get the part.
Wow. That's funny. I thought about that because like she looked super comfortable with that snake on her. And so I thought, man, she had to have spent a ton of time with snakes.
Yeah.
Just for that. And
I read more into that too. She actually was like, she didn't have a choreographed dance because the snake kept, being a snake and moving around. So she had to just like dance with the snake, and she did an awesome job. I mean, apart from that, she's very nice to look at, but also like the technical aspect of it was really cool.
No, it was great. Yeah.
Here's so we talked about this last week, and I sorry for the listeners, you had to wait a week, but here's some casting stuff. Okay. Some of it is not my opinion, but some of it's just like what I found. Half of it's probably not true, but before Clooney was cast, numerous actors were considered for the role of Seth Gecko, including Antonio Banderas, which I'm sure is 100% true. Steve Buscemi seems not right. Michael Madsen.
No, not right.
Tim Roth.
Yeah.
Travolta. Yeah. I heard that was that was true for sure. Christopher Walken. No. Jeff Goldblum, James Woods, and Robert De Niro. No. The only one of those lists that I think would have been cool, would have been different, would have been Banderas. Antonio Banderas, I think, could have been interesting.
Yeah.
But I don't think he could have played off of Tarantino very well, though.
No, I think Clooney was really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So according to this, all of those people passed because of scheduling conflicts. The only one to outright decline the role was Travolta, who said he had no interest in doing a vampire movie and instead chose to do Pulp Fiction instead.
Good choice.
Yeah.
So, and isn't Travolta due for a reinvention again?
It'd be nice. I like that guy.
Like he's reinvented himself
like multiple
so many times.
Yeah, one of them was with Pulp Fiction.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's time.
And he was nominated for Best Actor for Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
And it revitalized his career. So, yeah.
I think he's great.
Yeah, I like Travolta. The last trivia point that I have, there was a special makeup effect in which one of the stripper vampires has her stomach open into a large mouth. She shoves a bar attendant's head into the large mouth and bites it off. The effect was so graphic that Quentin Tarantino didn't even want to see it. The scene can be accessed in the deleted scenes section in the special edition DVD. And I have not looked that up to watch it yet.
Because I was like, wait a minute, I don't remember seeing that.
Yeah, it's not in the movie. Apparently it was very graphic.
It must be really bad at Tarantino.
I know.
Tarantino had limits.
Exactly. I didn't know he had limits. That's funny. Let's see. Anything else you want to talk about before we get into beefs and puzzles?
No, let's get into beef.
All right.
Where's the beef? Hey, where's the beef?
All right, I have a few beefs, and one of them was, you asked me last week about who I had cast in place of someone, and there was only one that I read about that I thought would have been better, and this is it.
Okay.
Eric Estrada was lined up to play Carlos the gangster that Cheech Marin plays at the end.
That would have been good.
That would have been cool, huh? And I
would have liked that.
I think it would have been even crazier to hear Eric Estrada, if he indeed was cast in all three roles that Cheech Marin was in, to have him say all those nasty female genitalia lines.
Yes.
Because it would have just felt way cooler coming out of his mouth because he's like, seems like the nicest guy ever.
Yeah.
All right, here's my other two beefs. This was the film that inspired Joel Schumacher to cast George Clooney in Batman and Robin. My beef is the fact that he actually was like, oh, I need to make this movie with George Clooney because that movie was terrible.
Terrible. Yeah.
It killed Batman.
Batman by far.
It took many years later and Chris Nolan to resurrect it. That's how long it took. Those Batman nipples.
Was so bad. He was so awful as Batman.
Yeah, not great. Last beef is Sex Machine's crotch revolver. Listen to this. Has been the source of much debate as a terrible idea because the recoil would be like punching yourself in the groin. In an interview with James Rolfe, Tom Savini, who plays Sex Machine, justified the recoil issue by stating that during his time in the Army in the Vietnam War, which I didn't know, they tested the recoil of an M16 by placing it on various parts of the human body, including the chin and the crotch, with no injury whatsoever. It could be belt fed. One cylinder holds bullets and the other holds the spent shells. Its resemblance to a revolver is just cosmetic, and the codpiece itself might be reinforced and padded to reduce the recoil.
He really thought about it.
Yeah. Particularly since the firing pin and the trigger mechanism, the film shows that it was fired by a hand pump, would need the additional room. So here's my beef. My beef is that there's so many idiots talking about this dumb. It's just a fun gun, man. That's my beef. Just it's funny.
Movie.
Agreed. Who cares about the recoil of the groinal area, man? Pop off.
Agreed.
Any beefs that you have with the film?
No. I probably could have done without the Gloria, the bank teller that was hostage. The way she died.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It was pretty heavy. That was intense.
Yeah. I could have done without that.
And you know what I could have done without? The fact that she looked like a bank teller.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they just got a random lady out of the bank and put her in the movie.
Actual bank teller.
Yeah, it made it even worse.
Yeah. I mean, I could have done a little bit without that. And then I feel like I missed something when it came to the family dynamics with Harvey Keitel. Like, where did the Asian kid come from?
Yeah, they didn't explain it. I mean, I'm guessing he's adopted, but because they even make a joke about it. Like, Clooney makes a joke about it.
Yeah.
Who's your boyfriend? He's like, he's my son.
I feel like I missed something there. Not that I needed it. And then I guess those are it.
Yeah. I think it was a little long, and I know Quentin Tarantino doesn't care. He's just going to do his dialogue no matter what. But I feel like we could have got a little faster to the titty twister. And I know the budget wouldn't have allowed for a longer scenes in there. But as much as I like the dialogue of the first half, I think it's more fun, the schlockiness of the horror part.
Right. I could probably agree with that.
So, yeah, that's all my beefs. Let's get into puzzles.
A sphincter says what? What? A sphincter says what? What? Exactly. All
right. I didn't know this, and I feel like I'm a fan of Tarantino. So the Big Kahuna Burger, the fast food that Seth brings into the hotel, clearly has Big Kahuna Burger logo on it on the side of the bag. I guess it's in Pulp Fiction. I didn't know that. I thought it was like they talked about Royale with cheese.
Royale with cheese,
but
right.
Big Kahuna Burger is a staple of like a writer's trademark.
I'm going to have to look for that. Kind of like Tom Cruise and Bob.
Yeah, that Bob comment, I for sure, every time I watch his movie, I'm going to look for Bob all the time now.
Oh, I watched, my wife and I watched Oblivion in 2 weeks. And
Bob really?
Was in there. Yep.
Who was that?
Gosh, I'm going to have to remember. Oh,
did he just
bobblehead, I think.
Oh, okay. Because I remember when we were talking about it, he sometimes he just says, "Hey, can I call you Bob?" And that's like
like Last Samurai when he's walking with that Bodyguard.
Yeah,
He says, you look like a Bob. So, yeah, Bob's with Tom Cruise.
Interesting.
And now Big Kahuna Burger with Quentin.
And I already brought this up in last week and this week, but Quentin Tarantino obviously wrote the screenplay after writing or winning the Oscar for Pulp Fiction, which is insane to me. It's such a weird puzzle. Yeah. Here's the last two, and I think these are the most interesting to me. Clooney and Tarantino both appeared on episodes of The Golden Girls.
What?
Yeah. What is going on? Like, I can see George Clooney. He's just an actor. He's a TV actor. I could see him making an appearance on The Golden Girls, but Tarantino? I have not confirmed this. I've not looked it up. I just read about it. I want to see the scene where Tarantino is in The Golden Girls, bro.
Absolutely. And when you think that was 40 years ago?
Yeah, what the heck, dude?
Holy cow. I'm going to probably try to find something on that as well. So fake trailers and now Golden Girls.
Golden Girls, yep. All right, here's the most crazy one, and it might take you down the longest rabbit hole of all time.
Oh no.
There's an entire feature-length documentary on the making of From Dusk Till Dawn called Full Tilt Boogie, and it's a full documentary, and you can find it on your favorite platform, YouTube. It's like an amalgam. They like have clips from it, and someone has like tried to put them together. I watched part of it, and it's really interesting to see like how Rodriguez works and how he was like directing both Clooney and Tarantino before shots. It's cool. I didn't watch the whole thing, obviously, because it's like a full length movie, but crazy.
Right. What's it called?
Full Tilt Boogie.
Full Tilt Boogie.
Yeah.
Double dog deal.
Yeah. Okay. Feature length documentary on the making of From Dusk Till Dawn.
I'm in, man.
That's all my last puzzles. Any puzzles you had? Like anything you were like, what is going on?
No, those were great though. I'm gonna have my work cut out for me today. Thanks a lot.
What about the Mayan temple? Like the reveal at the very end. Was that like it was fine? You didn't care?
Nah, I didn't need it.
It kind of felt like the end of a Twilight Zone episode where you have this like, oh my gosh, it's a Mayan temple.
Yeah, like it was fine. Cool, I guess, but
I did notice.
Not gonna do anything else with it.
Yeah, I did notice that as they pull away, you see like older cars and older because it's been there for so long, just preying on people. So that was cool. All right, our last category is popcorn redemption.
I have exorcised the demons.
So as you know, this category was invented to make sure we end on a nice note in case we watch a stinker. This was not a stinker, but we can talk about what we liked. And this is interesting because you and I had both not seen this before.
Right.
So I have two redemptions that are trivia related, and then I'll give my overall redemption and rating. So when shown on commercial television, the name of the bar is digitally changed to Kitty Twister with the neon breasts blocked out.
Oh, Lord.
Number one, I cannot believe that this was even able to be shown on TV. Like, how could there be so much editing you'd have to do?
A lot, for sure.
Like all the swears, I guess you can bleep those out or dub over them, but like so much violence.
Yeah. Like, and F words and all of it.
Yeah, subject matter.
This one has to be a tough one to get on TV, especially back when it was on. Like, I'm sure that it was, within 10 years of this that they put it on TV, maybe 15. So
yeah,
like
crazy. Yeah. But I always love that stuff that they do to movies like on TV. My most favorite of all time is the yippee-ki-yay motherfudger on Die Hard. They would say, yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon. Like,
it's so amazing.
Who's Mr. Falcon? I don't even know who that is. It's so funny.
Oh, Mr. Falcon. I probably say that once a month.
Yeah, me too. Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon. All right. My last redemption is, and this is my favorite, and I saved it for last, but both filmmakers are on the record fans of exploitation movies, which we talked about last week, that this is a different type of movie, people. And they peppered the movie with their favorites. So Tom Savini, who plays Sex Machine, is the legendary stuntman and special effects creator behind movies like Dawn of the Dead, which I didn't know. Tom Saxon, who plays FBI agent Chase, is an actor who appeared in Enter the Dragon and other films, which is also awesome. And you mentioned it earlier, Fred Williamson, who plays Frost, was in many popular blaxploitation movies in the 70s and the original movie inspired for Inglourious Bastards. So
yeah.
I love that these guys love what they do, and they love just paying homage to all these other things that it has inspired their work. And I love that.
I couldn't agree more. I seriously, I couldn't agree more. And there's, because you know me, we've talked about how much when like nostalgia carries for me. Mm-hmm. So I love when they do that stuff.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, Tarantino, I was going to say this movie isn't for everyone, but also Tarantino isn't for everyone. And that's okay. Right. You don't have to like him. So the people who criticize him for his violence and his gun violence and everything else, I've seen multiple interviews where he gets so pissed off at people when they're asking him about the violence. And he's like, listen, you don't have to like what I do. This is a free country. Like, if you don't like it, don't watch it. Don't patronize it. One of my buddies always says, like, if you want more of the stuff that you like, go patronize it. If you don't give your money to it. That's the pure facts.
I couldn't agree more. And listen, the country has been much freer in the past. I think we can all agree to that. And the fact that people are getting deplatformed and some of these other things,
cancel culture.
All you have to do is turn it off.
Correct.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sorry, but it's your life to live. Don't live everybody else's. Crazy.
Yes.
Crazy people.
Yeah. And it reminds me of when I was younger. I live in Utah, which is populated with a lot of religious people. And there was this group of people who would censor movies. And I always thought, like, why do you have to change what the director wanted to make his art just so you can consume it the way you want? Listen, if you don't like that stuff, like we just said, don't turn it on. Don't try to edit it so that you can, like, this is his vision. You can have a vision and you can create all you want, all the cool religious movies you want with Kirk Cameron. You can go hang out with him. But if you don't like that, we can do this other. That's what. Yeah,
I agree. It keeps getting worse and worse, and I hope that it ends soon. But this is, well, maybe I'll let you finish on your redemption, and I'll go into some of mine.
Okay, that was it. I'll save my rating and tell you what I think about the movie overall. But you go ahead.
Yeah, I think that this is the type of movie where you can watch it over and over, and because the writing and the dialogue is so good, you're always going to find different things entertaining every time you watch it. Mm-hmm. Like, I will absolutely watch this movie again. And it's crazy that I haven't really seen it up to this point.
You know what this kind of movie feels to me, and sorry to interrupt, but this I would love to watch with you or with like a bunch of dudes that we got snacks and wings and we're just hanging out and watching this silly movie and having a good time. That's where I think I would love to rewatch this.
Absolute cracking jokes on their jokes, on their dialogue. Like it sets up for that type of environment where you're going to throw a bunch of one-liners at it, and just volley off of the movie to each other. Like, it just, man, and I said this last week, like, the 90s was so amazing. Seriously, like, from a movie's perspective, there just was so much original stuff out there. And that's another thing where we have to go back 25 years to find stuff that is original, because nothing is original anymore. It is painful out there to watch movies right now. And so, even back in 96, they take an unoriginal idea of vampires and Tarantino puts his spin on it, and it doesn't even really necessarily feel like it's a vampire movie. It feels like it's a Tarantino film. Like if you say, well, what kind of film is it? I'm not going to say it's a vampire film. No. I'm going to say it's a Tarantino film.
Yes.
So it's super original.
One of the taglines for the movie was, "There's vampires, but no interviews." Like, yeah, it's a different kind of vampire movie.
It's a Tarantino movie. Like that's what it is. So for me, it's that the watchability of it is one of the most watchable movies that you'll ever find.
Yeah, I agree. I liked it, and I don't really like this type of movie, but I liked it, and I would watch it again. I'm not going to give it a golden bucket, but it's a large bucket, easy large bucket for me. It's fun.
Oh, completely agree. I can't go golden bucket. I'm pretty stingy with those.
Yeah,
but I would still absolutely go with a large bucket.
Yeah.
It is just that good. And I'm still shocked that it took my father saying, "Hey, if you ever get an opportunity, you should do one on From Dusk Till Dawn."
Yeah.
And like, it took that for me to watch this. And I'm a little disappointed in myself that I had never watched this until now.
Well, we got some heavy lifting to do with you not having seen any of the Mission Impossible movies, Mr. Tom Cruise fan. But yeah, it took me for someone like you saying, "Hey, you got to watch the new Top Gun. It's super awesome." And I'm like, no, I'm not watching that because the other one was terrible. And then, like, I think that's what's cool about movies too, is you get someone, you get friends, you get the word of mouth, and they're like, "Hey, you should check it out." And that's what's fun. It's like you get to form your opinion. You might change your opinion, and that's why I do this. I just love it so much. It's so fun.
Well, and we were a few minutes ago talking about the political landscape right now, and I just wish that people would allow movies to transcend politics. And this type of movie, like, you can't, there's almost no way, other than if you want to censor it, that you can make something like this political. Mm-hmm. And that's another beautiful thing about it is this is a movie that everybody that likes a Tarantino film, right? And even most that don't, they're going to enjoy this. Mm-hmm. And it's not heavy, and it's not, there's some heavy stuff, but it's not, but but it's still overall light. It's lighthearted and not meant to be taken seriously. So I don't know, like to me, again, it's just, it transcends politics, and the world's got so crazy with politics these days that it's kind of nice to go back and find a gem like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and to those who's listening, message us if there's gems that we potentially haven't seen and or haven't reviewed. We'd be happy to do it, because this one was a pleasure.
Yeah, maybe that's what it's instead of. Like, next should be audience pick for you and I.
Yeah. All right, man. Do we wrap up? Did we close the door on the titty twister?
I think we closed the door on the titty twister.
Awesome.
What a ride.
What a ride. Well, that's it for this week, but I'm with you always. Look for me in the cloud at Popcorn Priest. I love movies and would love it if you'd share the love. Share this with the movie lover in your life. And by the way, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, I'm on YouTube now. So go check us out and talk with us and message me. Another way to support the show is by throwing a few shekels at the priest. Visit patreon.com/Popcorn Priest for details. If you made it this far, go. Give us a 5-star review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. I command thee. As always, thanks for listening, and thanks for my reoccurring guest, Dan Sack Lunch Sekulich, the original. Always a pleasure,
The original,
man.
baby. I love doing this. And, I say it every single time we get done with one of these, that I love the passion you have for it, and I love to be a part of it. So thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, it means a lot coming from, friends and family, but it means a lot coming from you too. I appreciate it. And remember, when you watch movies, you can pop off, pop in, or pop out, but always bring the popcorn.